Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. Welcome to one red day on the market for sure. We definitely got some dips today. I wasn't thinking I thought the market would, my gosh, I really thought we would have more level head about the uncertainty of tariffs. But I'll tell you, the market's a little on the uncertain side, a little on the red side. It's not all bad, but it's still red. It's still red nonetheless. However, before we get to the market, I'd like to talk about spinning. I certainly like to take a spin, and I'm talking, of course, about Wealthsimple. So Wealthsimple currently has a contest on. You spin the coin, you get some entries, anywhere from 10 to 100,000. Last week I got a 60,000. Can we beat it this week? And I think this is the last week. I think the 28th is the last day that we have to spin. So I am ready to spin once again, as usual. I'm going to spin right here on the air. Somebody mentioned going up. I don't know if I can go up. Let me try this. Nope. Nope, that did not work. In fact, that took me completely off the page. All right, we're going to try this again. We're going to try this. All right. This is like awkward. This is awkward. Here we go. All right, we are spinning. Let's see what we get here. And I can't actually see because the thing's in the way. Let me pull it up. 110. Wealthsimple. Guys, I've sent business your way this this event. Give me some more entries, guys. Give me some more entries. 110. I'd like to see a little bit more. Now, guys, if you want to spin, you gotta have the Wealthsimple broker, and there is an app. I guess an app for that. But here, let me type this in for you. I'm gonna drop my referral link here in the chat. So with this link, if you go over, once you fund your account, they're gonna give you 25 bucks. That's kind of cool. They also throw 25 back at the channel, which is fantastic as well because it helps support us. It's a win-win for sure. It's also, if you're a brand new investor, probably the best broker in Canada for new people. It's pretty easy to use. It's pretty easy to navigate. It's pretty easy. I like Wealthsimple overall. And you can spin. You've only got a week, so you can get some entries in to win a gold coin. They're giving away 10 gold coins. 15 gold coins. The total value is going to be $100,000. So that's what, $7,500, maybe $8,000 a coin, something like that. So I'm hoping to win. I'm hoping to win. I'm probably not gonna. I'm not very lucky, but I'm hoping somebody in the community definitely wins. So check them out if you're not yet on Wealthsimple. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get over there. And why isn't my link popping up? Let me try this again. All right, because I spell it right. Sometimes I think it's just the Nightbot. The Nightbot just gets lazy. Because, Nightbot's supposed to be dropping this link here. Come on, Nightbot, drop the link. What's going on? Oh, boy. All right. Well, while we're waiting for the wealth bot, I was going to say the Wealthsimple bot. It's the Nightbot. While we're waiting for the Nightbot to return that link, I also noticed right before the show started, we got a gifted membership that came in from Wahipple. So, guys, that's getting us started with the GOAT squad immediately. Here is our evil Monopoly GOAT. So we are one of 4 out of getting a show for tomorrow. So we have the wealth. I'm still obsessing on Wealthsimple, guys. So we have, and why is it not? I'm not misspelling Wealthsimple. I don't know why. I'll try to get that fixed. I don't know what's going on there, but we have the Financial Express going on. So anytime that we do 4 supers or 4 gifted subs or a combination that adds up to 4, we tack on another show. So normally we only do a Wealthsimple. Normally we only do a show on Wednesdays. But we've done a show on every single day since the 1st of December when this began. And this train, it's on the tracks and it's going to keep going. As long as you guys want it to keep going, we're going to keep doing it. I'm prepared to work every day this year if I have to. So what can I say and why? I'm going to try this one more time here. Wealthsimple. Wealthsimple. This really is supposed to work. Uh-oh. YouTube just said, nope. It told me I'm spamming the chat. Can you, YouTube, come on. Come on, I'm not spamming the chat. I don't know. I'll try a little bit later, guys. Gosh. If you really do want to try Wealthsimple out, just at the bottom of any of my videos, or even at the bottom of this once it's finished, there is that link is there. That link is there, guys. The Nightbot, normally I can just type a link in. Like, watch. Here's the link to Discord. We'll see if this one will work. Maybe they're all just not working today. I don't know what's going on. I can't even type that in. Wealthsimple. Sorry, Wealthsimple. YouTube. YouTube is rejecting it. Says, YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. YouTube, I'm not spamming myself. Oh, well, there should be like a rule where I can't spam myself. You guys can actually type it in too. That might be, it's an exclamation mark and then Wealthsimple, all one word. That might work. I don't know, but for whatever reason, it's not working for me. So let's get to the market. Let's get to the market. Oh boy. Oh, I don't want to do that. Here, I want to do this. There we go. So as we can see, the TSX today, we are down 0.25%. Look at that. I just saw this. Mark typed it in and there it is. It's working for Scott too. Nightbot, are you mad at me? I don't know what's going on. Actually, hilarious story, guys. Little side note, we're going on a tangent. I was watching a thing earlier, a news story about this guy. So he works at, I don't know where he works, but he's in the States. So basically, he oversees this platform where people can put comments or they can add content, but he's been preventing AI from adding content. So you've got all of these AI agents. Well, one of these AI agents got really annoyed that he wouldn't let the agent post on this platform. And I wish I knew what the platform was. So this AI agent went and basically scoured the internet to find out everything it could about this guy, and then wrote a great big hit piece on him and posted it. And I was like, holy cow, we've now got AI agents getting a little upset with humans and striking back. So yeah, maybe the Nightbot is doing that. Maybe the Nightbot's like, you work me too hard. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. But outside of that crazy stuff, and Rory, we're going to talk about Propel. Oh boy, are we going to talk about Propel. Outside of the crazy stuff, back to the market. TSX currently down 0.23. There's still a chance. We got 20 minutes. And this also, there's a delay on this one by 15 minutes. So technically, we got about a half an hour of data to see if we can push back to the green. I certainly would like to see that. But overall on the month, we're doing really well. February is a pretty green month, and you can see from this blue line. So that blue line, that's where we entered the month. So if we're above it, green month. If we're below it, red month. Pretty basic. We're well above it. Well above it. In fact, here's the all-time high. It's just right up here. A hop, jump, and a skip, and we're back at the all-time high. So we're doing pretty good. And a day like today, because we've had a lot of volatility this month, can certainly make you go, I know we're heading into a bear market. Well, we're not. I mean, we're still, we are still like I said, it's not far away from the all-time high. We're doing just fine. Now, looking south of the border, that's a different story on the United States. So the United States currently, so right now the S&P 500 down 1.10%. they are having a red month. They're well below their blue line, and they're running out of time. We've got the rest of this week. I don't know if they're going to do it. Well, it's all going to come down to Wednesday. Wednesday is the big day that's going to decide the month when it comes to the S&P 500, when it comes to the NASDAQ. And just to give you an idea of the NASDAQ, if they're down 1.46, and take a look, they're even further below the blue line. So the U.S. markets, and why is Wednesday so important? It's Nvidia earnings. And Nvidia, if their earnings are good and if their forward projections, make investors a little bit happy, that could save the month for the United States. If not, it could be a pretty red ending to the month. It could be a further slide on tech. So there might be another dip. Those of you looking to buy something like HHIS on the cheap, you might get it even cheaper by the end of the week if Wednesday goes awful. And I'm hoping it doesn't. I like to be optimistic. I like to think that there is a chance, but we're going to see. We're going to see for sure. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial also down today 1.66, and holy banana bread, they made it back down to the blue line. So the industrials are, oh gosh, they're just holding on by a thread, a little tiny green thread that just turned red. So, oh boy, the Dow Jones could be in trouble this month. And looking at the Russell, the little caps, they broke down into red territory. They broke across the blue line, sorry, but they have been fighting back. They're trying to climb back up. We'll see what they can do. These are the little guys. Oh gosh, we're going to see how that all turns out. Now, we do got some gold here. Not our hockey team, but the TSX, definitely gold is helping us today. Up 2.33%. Silver also having a fantastic day, up 4.85%. Loving it. Copper also looking pretty good. Actually not. What am I saying? Copper is down 0.7, but that's fine. I'm bullish on copper. So copper's always looking good. Platinum up a tiny bit, and oil also up a little bit. Of course, a lot of people are not looking forward to it, but looking forwards to what's going to happen with the U.S. and Iran. So could that be the story of this weekend coming up? Oh boy, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. And, oh, by the way, there's a controversy about the Canadian gold, the U.S. gold medal win, and a little phone call between Team USA and a certain president. So a little controversy brewing there, but we'll see. We'll see how that's all going to go out. I won't get into it too deeply, that's for sure. Looking at crypto, not a good day. Bitcoin down about 5%, Ethereum down just a wee bit more. So, yeah, what can I say? All right, let's get to the heat map. We will start with Canada. As you can see, our financial sector, they're kind of getting hit. We got most of our banks are down today. Some of them pretty big. Look at BMO. BMO down 2.21%. TD's down almost a percent. Royal Bank's down 0.75%. Scotiabank down 1.37. So definitely some movement to the downside for our financial sector. Technology also, and technology is kind of an interesting thing. Technology, it's not so much about the uncertainty on what's happening with this tariff, and we'll talk a bit more about the tariff here soon. Technology, it's still the jitters, it's still the AI stuff, it's still lingering, and I don't think we're going to put that to bed. Well, we're either going to put it to bed or we're going to give it some steroids on Wednesday. So, oh boy, that's going to be really interesting. But on the positive side, energy stocks looking pretty good. We got CNQ up 0.20, Suncor is up, and pipelines are doing good. Look at this, Pembina up 1.44, Enbridge up 1.56, and most of our Our mineral stocks are up as well. You got Barrick Gold up there, 2.67. Cameco, though, kind of an interesting story. They are down 2.38. But Kinross, look at Kinross up 6.20. That's pretty good. Both railroads down a tiny bit, but considering the fact that a lot of what we're seeing today is uncertainty over what is happening with exports with this new 15% tariff that we're looking at. Believe it or not, it's actually a better story for Canada than before. So it's actually not that bad of a thing. But CNR is basically holding flat. They're right now at 0.05 down. But they had been up. Actually, now look at this, 0.01 down. They might make it back into the green before the day is out. They've been actually holding up pretty well to the pressure today. So I'm liking that quite a bit. Looking at the United States, oh boy, a lot more red. Most of tech absolutely in trouble here today. You got Meta down almost 3%, Microsoft down 3.48%, Google down 1.26%, Tesla is down 3.89%. Now Nvidia, they're actually looking good today. They and Apple are pretty much the lone holdouts in tech. So Nvidia up 0.55, Apple up 0.75. So what can I say? But everything else mostly down except for, and this is that trend we've been seeing this year, is that when Americans are getting nervous, they start running to healthcare. And look at it. We're seeing that today. Look at this. Eli Lilly up 4.02, Johnson & Johnson up 1.30. It's the new safe haven, American safe haven. You know, it's like, if we're nervous, we should invest in that company that helps people lose weight. There we go. All right. And of course, in the world of crypto, everything pretty much on the red side. Now, we do have a little tradition here. I like to pick a coin. We have our crap coin of the day. And the market today is red, so we're going to pick, we'll pick a green coin. Let's grab this one. I don't know what we're picking. Let's move my head over. Tria. Okay. What is this? So this here is Tria. Now, they do not have they don't even have an icon. So they got the, whenever they don't have an icon, TradingView gives them this little American flag thing. I don't know why. But yeah, Tria is actually having a pretty good day. They're up to 1.7 cents. So now here, let's see if I can. There we go. Yeah, so they've moved up a little bit. So I don't know what this one is about. It's like, I don't know. It could be anything. Like I don't even have a hint on the name of this one. It's like, whatever. So this, once again, this is a coin that I'm never going to buy. It will never, it'll never make my, if I have a triad of coins, this triad is not getting into the triad. Well, that was a lame attempt at humor. I'm going to say that right now. If I was going to say whether or not I get a laughing goat for that one, I'd say nope, no goat for me. They're up 14% though, but nonetheless, guys, you're probably going to lose money with this. I don't trust these coins. I don't like them. I like penny stocks better. And I will tell you, you got to be careful with these. Maybe Tria is going to be that next big one. Maybe you can make some money on them. But if you're thinking about it, you definitely want to do your research. You want to do your due diligence. Read their white paper. Check out the developers on their social media. See what's going on with it. See if there is a chance that this is a coin to make money on. I don't believe it is. I'd rather make money on the bigger coins. So you know what I'm talking about. Your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your XRP, your Solana, your Cardano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. So yeah. All right, guys, let's get back to the TSX. Ooh, guys, look. Now it's only minus 0.13. I might get to change my sign to green. I want to change the sign to green, guys. So we'll see if I get to do that before the end of the day. But for now, I'm going big, not that big. There, this big. I'm going big, and we're going to hit up the chats. So Wahipple started off the day, so I'm going to miss out. I'm going to miss out. Work is slammed again already. Got 12 hours in. Oh, well, you know, I'm sorry to hear that, Wahipple, but you're making the money. You're making the money. And of course, Wahipple did come in with that, and we celebrated with a goat. So we are, by the way, in regards to a show tomorrow, we're only 3 away. We're only 3 away. Stan came in and says hello all, and we got Lance. Good afternoon. And Lance bought the dip today. So let's see. But Lance bought HHIS, Walmart, and MSTE. Got some C-Day and Inti dividends today too. Yeah. I know I remember seeing 60, a notification for 60 dividends earlier today, but always good to have dividends coming in for sure. Scott is in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. My Wealthsimple spin was 160. Well, that's 50 more than mine. That's 50 more. And guys, if you have not yet told me what your spin is, get that into the chat. I'm curious to know. Bismarcky in the house with a good afternoon all, and we've got the wonderful Samantha in here with a hello all. Larry says up 11.49% for the day. ASPS 28% jump. Nice. That's a pretty impressive jump. And of course, ASPS, that is the company that does the foreclosures. So usually if they're doing really well, a lot of people aren't, unfortunately. Bismarcky, 200 entries today. I'm thinking Wealthsimple is not liking me. 200 is my highest number in a day. Well, we got what, 5? I think we have 5 maybe left. So let's hope that you get 100,000. You know what? Why don't you get 100,000 tomorrow? Just do it, Bismarcky. Do it. All right. Cynthia is in the house with a 70. Only 70. Yikes, Cynthia. You need 100,000 as well. Everybody. Actually, if we all got 100,000 tomorrow, Wealthsimple would probably just cancel the contests and say it's broken. Oh boy. Paul says good afternoon, and Brian says I got 200 today, a total of 131,970. Oh gosh, that's a lot. Wow. That's Brian, you may be winning this game. You may be beating all of us. All right, Scott says, if you're wondering why I bought with my free $25, let's just say me and Stella Jones got a thing going on. Nice. So good old SJ. I bought with the 25 that came in on my end. I picked up an HDIV, another share of HDIV on the down low, and then I took what was the rest, and I just threw it into mix. And that's what I did. Just in case since you shared, I'll share back. Why not? All right. Roy said, just go down to the North Saskatchewan River and pan for your gold. Oh gosh. I think in that case, I'm probably better off just waiting to 2030. We got 2030, guys. I'm sure of it. Paul, Harvest TSLY, PLTE, MSTE started going up exactly at 30 minutes left. Yeah, and I'm hoping to see some more movement to the upside. And Bitcoin, oh boy. This is almost scary to look at, but let's go take a quick look at Bitcoin here. All right. I said it was almost scary. Well, it is scary. This is scary. Look at this. So here's the thing. This territory here, I imagine MSTE probably, yeah. Now, yeah, there's probably some move back to the upside, but the last time we were down here, MSTE certainly suffered. Or we went lower. Did we go lower back here? Yeah, we went way down. Yeah, we went way down. So we're not quite that bad, but I don't like being below this line, guys. I want to get Bitcoin back up. So obviously, this invalidated the channel that we were seeing if we were in. We're not. We're definitely not. Now, we could be. Here's the interesting things, guys. We could actually still have a descending channel here. I just wonder. Oh, and I don't like it. I don't want this to be true. I do not want this to be true, but if we have a descending channel like this, oh boy, that does mean that Bitcoin will come back up and we might get a little bit lower. So we'll watch this. We're going to watch this. But we do have, look at this, we have all of that support in there. And, it's a matter of just sort of placing this around and trying to find the right spot. Oh, gosh. So we could have a descending channel. I don't like it. But that could be where we're at with Bitcoin. So we'll pay attention. We'll keep on watching. All right, guys, Mary is in the house. And guys, Mary is our official captain of the like button. So if you have not yet done the channel a solid and clicked on like, now's the time to do so. Just give that a good old click. I'm going to have a sip of coffee while you guys are doing it. Then we'll take a look and see where we are. This way here, you guys got a chance to boost the numbers before I take that first look at it. Oh, this is so good. Nothing like a good hot coffee on a winter's day. All right, I'm going over. I'm clicking on the test box. And let's see where we're at. All right, we're sitting at 33. You know what? 33 double numbers. Let's play the double numbers today. Let's get to 55. And then from 55 to 77. And then I'll shut up at 70 nonetheless. But let's move to 55 first, and we'll see how that goes. All right, Grizzly says working is recession proof. Yes, absolutely. If you've got a job in a recession, you're getting paid. I like it. And yeah, here was Mark. Mark was able to get the Nightbot to respond. And so was Scott. Yep, what can I say? All right, let's see here. Lance said, I read something today that said something about the cartel in Mexico threatening the silver miners, threatening them and causing delays with shipments. Now they're shipping out unrefined silver. Interesting. So far, it doesn't seem to have impacted the price of silver. But yeah, it's a little bit of a mess going on down there in Mexico, obviously. That's what happens. You take down the kingpin and people get mad. But I can't say it's a bad thing. It's a chaos thing, but you gotta get. I guess we gotta get crime in order. I guess. All right, Rory. Anyone jump into Propel Holdings? I asked ChatGPT and it said, "Don't do it yet." I'm just watching it. All right, Propel Holdings. We were looking at that yesterday, and oh boy. So here it is. So Propel is in, and here, let me see if I can shrink this down a little bit. There we go. Let's shrink it. All right, there we go. So I was charting this. We have a little bit of a channel that they're in. Now, they did break out of this morning, and I was looking, and this looked like a good spot, a good entry point. And I will say something. I got in. I did get in. I get in, and then it immediately fell. That happens. And that's the thing. I was like, oh. And I felt bad because we have 1 minute to the bell. I felt bad because I know we were talking about this on the show yesterday. So I know if I jumped in, there's probably one or two of you that probably did too. Well, hold tight, guys. Hold tight. It's just a little push out. It doesn't look like it's a big drop. And it already looks like it's starting to turn around. So I'm still okay with this, and it doesn't invalidate the channel. So I'm holding it. I'm going to see where things go. I think it'll be fine. All right. Niece says, greetings to all. Well, hey, Niece, how are you? And Vic says, Canada got silver. Yeah, we got silver. It should have been, I watched the game. I rearranged my schedule for the game. It should have been gold. Canada outplayed the U.S., but the U.S. goalie, he was, what's the expression? Standing on his head, spitting out nickels? Is that it? But, yeah, I mean, they won. And I don't begrudge them. Bell time, guys. I don't begrudge them. And I know that there's a lot of people going on social media about this whole thing with Patel being in the room and calling Donald Trump. But, I don't put a lot of credence into that. And, if you guys see that on the net and You hear people going on about it. It's just typical. That type of thing happens all the time. You know, presidents do call sports teams when they win big championships. So I don't put a lot of credence into it. You know, I'm just saying that only because I know that some people are making bigger deals about it on like YouTube, and I don't think it's a big deal at all. And maybe in your circle you don't even ever hear anything about it, but I ran into a couple of videos of people going on about it, and I'm like, nah, you know what? It's like I can understand the point you're trying to make, but you're kind of grasping at straws. That's kind of the way I look at it. All right. Bismarcky says, tomorrow night might be a gong, I think you mean gong, right? A gong show with the State of Confusion speech. Well, I will say one thing. I know somebody said that maybe he'll attack Iran during the State of the Union. I don't think so. So I think tomorrow night, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting. It could be interesting. And that's a funny thing is I wonder how this is going to impact. I'm really hoping to get some sanity in the market between now and Wednesday. Like let us have a day. Let us have tomorrow as just a nice calm day on the market. But probably, yeah, we probably won't get it, but I want it. All right, Lance says, I think Nvidia is going to fall short. I'm keeping extra dry powder handy for some dip buying. Okay, and fair enough. I want Nvidia to do well, but do I think they're going to do it? I think they're going to exceed expectations when it comes to their earnings and their revenue. But I think their forward statements will fall a bit short. So even though, and we've been watching this, even though I'd love to see them explode to the upside, and I really hope I'm wrong, Lance, because I think I'm in the same boat as you. It's not that I'm not preparing to buy a bunch of dips. I will buy dips, but I really hope I'm wrong on this one. That's what I'll say. Doorpat says, wow, my account is redder than the Red Sea. Anyone picking up more IBM with this huge dump today? Personally, I think people are overreacting to the Cobol Claude news. Yeah. I want people to sort of, I don't know. And this is going to be one of the dangerous, right now, I think is the most dangerous time for AI. Not for AI taking over the world or that, but I think for investing. And why I think it's dangerous is that we're kind of at that point where AI hasn't yet proven its worth, but it has in many ways. I mean, how many of you, like right now, let me ask this question in chat. And you know what, guys? All right, I get an idea. I'm going to go big screen for a second because that way there you won't have to watch the black hole. Let's drop a poll. Let's put a poll in here. All right, start a poll. All right. All right, how many of you use AI? Oh my gosh, come on, seriously. All right, it wasn't typing. All right, how many of you use AI? And we'll put down, yes, a lot. We'll put down, yes, a little. And we'll put down, no. And I'll add one more. What is AI? There we go. All right. I'm going to start this poll here. We'll see what you guys think. We'll see what you guys think. So how many of you are using AI? And it could be for whatever reason. Maybe you're using it at work. Maybe you're using it at home. Maybe instead of going to Google, you just open up the Chat GPT. So how many of you are using it? And I'm kind of curious. I'm actually super curious about how many of you are absolutely not using AI. I'm very curious about that number. And I will, on my test machine, I will add my answer in there as well. All right, so we'll see. We'll let that run for a little bit. Grizzly says too soon on the gold. Yeah, I know. You know, and it does. It really, really sucks. And in my heart, we got the gold because we did play the better game. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, and there we go. I just had to quickly click off of the off of the YouTube thing. So if I pull it up, you guys don't get the black hole. I hate the black hole. Uh, Paul says, optimize my income for March. I got stuck in HHIS on Friday. Today, Tesla went down more than HHIS. Sold HHIS and bought 1 part Tesla and 1 part PLTE and a tiny amount of MTE. Nice. Mark is saying PayPal takeover rumors. Oh, that's interesting. I have not heard of these rumors. Unless Mark just started the rumors, but no, I doubt that. Interesting. Now, Mark, who is it rumored? Who is rumored to be taking over PayPal? That's kind of it's an interesting thing. I know PayPal recently, that whole Honey debacle that was going on. I know PayPal bought Honey, but now who is taking over PayPal? Lisa's in the house with a hi, everyone. Pathfinder, if you like penny stocks more than crap coins, what do you think about Beware Holdings? Beware Holdings. I know nothing about Beware Holdings. I've never even heard of them before. So let's take a look. Oh, Saltfish Royalty. If you guys remember, I found this the other day and they excited me. All right, but we're looking for Beware. Beware. BEW.V. There we go. Beware Holdings. Oh, so it's Beware. Oh, clever name. Clever name. But clever name is not always the best thing. All right, let's look at this. All right, this is just their last year. So they've gone from 63 cents to 96 cents. Okay, so we got some movement to the upside. I like that. I like that. For the most part, higher highs, other than we got this one little... but you know what? A lot of stocks this year have had this one little major jump that's kind of in the middle, that kind of like, you know... So that I find that just interesting. So I like that. Just taking a quick gander down here. Doesn't look like they have a dividend. All right, I can see that they're profitable. So they actually have an earnings per share. It's only a penny, but it is on the profitable side. Now, let's go into their back end. All right, here's where things get a little interesting. So their debt to equity, they don't have a lot of debt. 6% debt to equity. Return on equity, 7.70%. All right, that's fine. For a small, newer company, that's not too bad. One thing I did not look at, and this is a rookie mistake, I didn't actually look at what they do. Let's see here. Okay, so they specialize in low power, 5G, Internet of Thing, wide area tracking technology. So create remote monitoring solutions that address cost, power, and environmental challenges. Okay. All right, so they're monitoring. Let's see, what do they monitor, though? Let's see, transportation, construction, logistics, utilities, health, and government. Beware's tracking solutions are designed to be both cost-effective and simple to implement, significantly expanding the scope of assets that can be connected. Okay, that's a really interesting company. I like what they're doing. And, my alarm, I forgot to turn it off. It was telling me to do the bell again, but we're not doing the bell a second time. I like what they're doing. I think that sector, I think is an important sector. I think there could be something there, especially, now I'd have to dig deeper in because this didn't really tell me, like, are they doing, one area I see as being huge is health tracking. You know, different apps that track like your health, everything from your glucose levels to your heart rate and all of that fun stuff. So this could be an interesting company. So what I would say is, yes, it's a penny company. If you like it, do more research, find out what they do, find out, and even then, I still wouldn't go in, like, I wouldn't go big. I would call them still a play money company, but not bad. What I've seen is not that bad. All right. Shane wants to know, how do you feel about CrowdStrike? I don't have a lot. It's funny. I don't have a big opinion on CrowdStrike. You know how there's some, have you ever just had a stock that you hear about it every so often and you just go, oh yeah, and you kind of don't think about it again? That's kind of me and CrowdStrike. But let's actually take a look here. See, I don't even know what their ticker is, just to be honest. Crowd, CROWD, right? Crowd, are they even, let's see, CrowdStrike. I'm misspelling crowd. I'm pretty sure I am here. CROWD, yeah, CrowdStrike. Oh, here we are. CrowdStrike, CDR, there we go. And here's CrowdStrike Holdings. All right, big company. I thought they were, that's why I was like, what's going on? So yeah, I'll pull up the 1 year. So as you can know, there's a CDR of them. So obviously, there's a nice, easy way to get into them. Oh boy, look at this. They've dropped pretty big today. But CrowdStrike, guys, when you take a look at it, once again, this one here, it is global cybersecurity. And I like that. I do like that. So I've been kind of like I guess my game, my play in this is actually BlackBerry. I think BlackBerry is going to be huge when we get into quantum. CrowdStrike, yeah, they're definitely a good company. I just, like, I haven't really followed them. And I have, and that's one of the reasons that I've never really, I've never really done any swing trades on them either, for that simple reason that I haven't paid a lot of attention to them. But I like what they do. I think there's a big need for it. They're kind of behaving the way the rest of of tech has been behaving lately. And I'm kind of curious, what do they have debt-wise? Actually, they don't have a ton of debt, only a 20%. However, oh boy, now this is concerning. Now this part here is definitely very concerning. So their return on equity is in the negative, which means that they're unprofitable. So negative 8.88%. So I don't know if there's some reason for this, if there's some explanation. Maybe they expanded, maybe they purchased another company. I'm not sure what that is. But I would want to be very sure, because when you've got a big company like this and you've got negative return on equity, that's an alarm bell. That for me is an alarm bell. So I don't like that at all, because normally a big company, and this is a big company, guys, like take a look here, just go back here, their market cap here, and take a look here, 87.8 billion. There's no excuse. In my opinion, there's no real excuse to have a negative ROE. So that does scare me about CrowdStrike. All right. Lisa says, I just started spinning 3 days ago. So far, I got 100, 100, and today 80. Okay, well, let's hope you get something bigger tomorrow. I really want to beat my 60,000 now. Let's see. Array says, what is the best account for swing trading? There's a couple ways. There's a couple of good accounts. So obviously, you don't want to be doing it in your TFSA. You can do the occasional swing trade as long as they're very long. And then, and technically, if it's that long, it's not really a swing trade. It's more or less just regular rebalancing. But if you're doing regular swing trading, you kind of got two good options. One, of course, is your non-cash account. But you are, of course, if you're swing trading, you will be paying taxes on that, because it makes everything into business, basically business wins, so business gains, business losses, and that's 100% taxable. So that's something to keep in mind. You can also, and this doesn't save you on the taxes, but you can swing trade in your RRSP. That's perfectly fine. The nice thing about that is you don't get hit on the taxes now, but you will later. Whenever you pull it out of your RRSP, you'll get hit on the taxes then. But you can day trade and swing trade in your RRSP with no consequences, which is a nice thing. All right. Stan says I only received 40. Oh no, Stan. Let me see. Tom says 140 from my spin. Scott says, has anyone done a wellness check on on Gary Gill? No. Gary, if you're out there, let us know. Go on Facebook and report yourself safe. report yourself safe from from the February 23rd MSTE drop. Oh, poor Gary. Paul says Bitcoin usually recovers once markets close. True. We might see some movement to the upside. And speaking of markets, I want to see if we did get back to the green with the TSX because I want to change my lights. You guys may already know. I don't know, but let's find out. All right. We did not. Bummer. So we finished the day at 0.12% down. Oh, well. Well, it is after hours now, and has Bitcoin recovered? Oh, excuse me. We got a little bit of a green happening here. We'll check back in on Bitcoin in a little bit here. Nice says crypto was unbound before, maybe unbound before. Now it's bound to the stock exchange. Yeah, it's actually really interesting. Crypto, like especially Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it used to be very unbound. Like, you know, the stock market could be falling, Bitcoin could be rising. Now it is more in tune. If you've got a big crash on the market, you probably are getting a big crash on Bitcoin. And what does that tell us? That tells us one thing. And actually, a day like today is a perfect day, actually. So you got the market coming down, and you've got gold going up and Bitcoin going down. So Bitcoin is not yet being viewed as a store of value. And I know the Bitcoin maxi folk are like, it's a store of value, Candace. It's a store of value. Nah, it's not. It's not yet. It could be, but it's not yet. And that's why, because, a day like today, we have money moving into gold. We got money moving into silver and Eli Lilly. I don't know how Eli Lilly became a store of value, but Bitcoin, though, yeah, Bitcoin definitely struggled. So it's not there yet, but it could be. It could be. I can see a future where it could be, but for now, we're not there yet. Larry says the sky is falling. I hope not. Well, it's going to be falling here tomorrow because we're getting some snow. Or no, Wednesday. Lance says, I've changed my stance on Bitcoin. I think it's going below 60K soon and might even hit 45 to 50 by the end of summer. It's just good dip buying opportunity for MSTE before Bitcoin's next leg up. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, right now, if it stays in the channel that it's in right now, well, I mean, let's just look at it. If it stayed in this channel, if it were to stay in this channel here by March, early March, we could see 61. I mean, it wouldn't take much, 60, probably before the middle of March, you could get down to 60 if it stays in this channel, guys. And that's the big if, right? Bitcoin does not usually stay in a channel for a long time. So we'll have to take a look. All right, Scott, 45 for Bitcoin is probably the low, with 55 being the equilibrium. Okay. I still think 50 to 60 is as low as it's going, but I'm willing to admit that I could be wrong for sure. And Tom said Propel jumped up after 3. Let's take another look at Propel because as you know, I did make a move in Propel. Yeah, you can sort of see here, we got a little bit more of a movement back to the upside. So Propel's, I was hoping, it was actually funny, guys, and this is just to give you an idea, like, how wrong I can be. I was kind of hoping that I could get into Propel here today and just ride it today. Even if I got halfway up, I was willing to get out at that point. I was like, yeah, this will be a fun one-day little trade. No, it's not. And that happens sometimes. But, that's the thing. You have to take your losses with your wins. That's part of swing trading. And that's one of the reasons why I was actually happy to be able to talk about Propel a little bit on today's stream, because it's like, I don't want you guys to come in thinking that everything I touch goes to the moon, because it doesn't. If it did, oh gosh, I'd be I'd be making some serious money, that's for sure. Moonlight says, hey, Candace, what do you think of CoreWeave? CoreWeave. Let's check out CoreWeave. I've heard of them. I don't have a ton of thought on them, but here we go. So this is another U.S. Company. So CoreWeave Incorporated, and we'll pull up the 1 year. So yeah, they've been kind of sideways a little bit, kind of sideways. Now, what do? Here we go. All right. So this here is an essential cloud for AI. So basically, CoreWeave delivers a platform of technology, tools, and teams that enable innovators to move at the pace of innovation, building and scaling AI with confidence. So I like what they do. I think there's some potential there, but there's a lot of companies like this out there right now. I really would like to see some movement to the upside. Right now, we haven't yet seen it, but they are fairly new. So, but the nice thing is, I mean, for a new company, look at this, their market cap, 45.27 billion. So that's not bad. They've got a lot of money there. I'm kind of curious about their debt. Let's just take a quick gander in behind here and see what they got. Oh boy. Now this does worry me. So debt to equity currently sitting at 485%. So they are living on a lot of debt. And that's probably why they're not making as much of a move to the upside as I'd like to see. So that debt worries me quite a bit. I would want to, if I was going to invest big time in this company, I would want to sort of figure out where that money is going. Why are they in that amount of debt? Are they building data centers? Is that where that money's going? What's the prognosis for getting some money back, getting some return on all of that investment? That would be what I would be looking at with CoreWeave. Lance says, I think the low for Bitcoin would be closer to 30 to 40K, but I think that's the extreme case. 45K, a definite possibility, though. All right. And Luke said, I loaded up on Propel at 2070. Canada got hosed. It happens. And I do see something, guys. We got a super sticker coming in from the wonderful Mary. And, guys, I'm afraid you guys haven't been hitting the like button. That's what that looks like to me. Let me check. Oh, boy. So, guys, yes, Mary likes to see that like button hit. We're at 53. Give me 2 more, guys, quickly. Let's get to 55, and then we'll move on from there. As we do that, though, thank you very much, of course, to Mary. And that does bring out our GOAT squad, and we've got our TSX Bell GOAT. Loving it. And we're halfway to adding a show for tomorrow. So once again, thank you very much, Mary, for all that you do for the channel and for the like button. So, guys, show some love to Mary. Well, you can show love to Larry, too. I mean, he doesn't mind it. That's for sure. All right. Now, and yeah, the Nightbot. So, yeah, there we go. We're halfway. Rory, you did buy Canoe. So Rory bought some. How did Canoe do today? I have not looked at Canoe. Let's head over. EIT. So they were at, oh boy, they fell. But yeah, today was ex-dividend day. Duh. Because I know they were at 17. Well, look here, 1726. Right in here. Well, actually 1725.5. So, but nonetheless. So yeah, did you, Rory, were you able to get the dip down here at noon? Because they got down to, let's see here, what was their low? 1693. So what did you get it for today? I'm kind of curious. But yeah, I do love myself a little bit of Canoe. Bismarcky says, I have a name for Patel, but YouTube would ban me if I mentioned it. All right, fair enough. Lisa says, I don't understand what the problem is with Trump wanting to congratulate Team USA. Like I said, I don't think it was a big deal. All right, I'll tell you what. He made a comment on his call, and this is why people were a little bit up. He basically said he invited the men's team to come to the State of the Union address. And he said, oh, we're probably going to have to include the women's team too. I have to say that or I will get impeached. That's the comment that people are a little upset about. It was a joke. I actually thought it was a joke. I took it as a joke, but maybe it was inappropriate. I don't know, but I'm just saying, really, guys, with all of the stuff out there, that's what you're going to double down on. It's like there's other things. There's other things you could double down on for sure. Scott says Hellebuck is arguably the best goalie in the NHL. Yeah, no, he won the game. He won that game for sure. So yeah, definitely a really good goalie. Until he goes back to Winnipeg, that is. There we go. Right. Jets defense isn't Team USA defense. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know what? A goaltender, in many ways, a goaltender is only as good as their defense. If your defense is, keeping people out of the slot and is making sure you have a clear view of the shot that's coming in, that's half the battle right there. Larry says Mr. Wonderful will be at the State of the Union. Oh boy, that's not actually that surprising. That's not that surprising. Kevin likes to show up at things like that. Let's see. Oilers and Flames aren't much better. Yes, and guys, here I'm going to go big screen for a second. Let's just quickly check that poll because I had dropped that poll earlier, kind of the AI one. I'm very, very curious as to the results here. All right, so I am going to end the poll. All right, let's see here. Okay, so right now, all right, how many of you use AI? So right now we got a lot of people, 40% of you use AI quite a bit. 37% use it a little bit. 22% of you don't use it at all. That, guys, honestly, that's a bigger number than I was expecting. And 1% don't know what AI is. Okay, fair. I have a feeling that 1% was Larry being funny, but that's just, I don't know. That was just kind of me being funny at Larry's expense. That's really interesting, 22%. Now, I have a feeling, though, of that 22%, I bet you some of you in that group are using AI without even realizing it. Like a lot of things that you do, like online, are going through AI, and a lot of times you may not fully realize it. So, but yeah, that's still a bigger number than I expected. I thought that number was going to be about 10%, to be honest. So interesting. Now, of the 22%, and you guys don't have to speak up if you don't want to, is it that you're sort of going out of your way to not use AI? Is that kind of where you're at? You go out of your way to not use AI? That would be that would almost should be another poll, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh boy. And I do see something here, guys. Let me quickly pull this up. Samantha is in with a super sticker of 149, and it's the black cat one, which is actually funny. I almost did something today, guys. So I was editing the video. So for the next video, not the one that drops tomorrow, that one's already up. Actually, the channel members can already see that one. But the deep dive on an ETF called Matrix. I thought about actually getting an animation of a black cat just walk across the screen once, and then about 1 minute later have it do it again. I thought about doing that because I thought, for me, that would be really, really funny. But I ended up not doing it. But now I'm like, it's already done. I can't go back and redo it. But it was kind of that thing. I thought about that. But anyway, Samantha, of course, dropped that 149, puts us one closer to a show tomorrow. Actually, we're just one away from a show for tomorrow. And, oh boy, that does unlock our third GOAT squad. And this is my favorite one, Space Goat. Oh boy, Space Goat. In space news, by the way, so Artemis 1 did pass their fuel check. So this is the rocket ship that's going to go up and orbit the moon with a Canadian on it. So that's kind of cool. But apparently there were some other problems with the ship, so it's looks like the launch is going to be delayed again. How long? I don't know. I kind of want to see, I kind of want to see us back on the moon. So these delays, they're annoying, but at the same time, I don't want them to send a ship up that's not going to that's going to explode or something. Now Artemis, I think NASA made Artemis. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Scott, you will know. Drop it in the comments for me, Scott. I think it's a NASA-made ship. I don't know if I would trust an Elon ship to go to Mars to go to the moon yet. They've had a lot of explosions. All right, now let us jump back here to where were we? I'm how far behind am I? I just I'm about 20 minutes behind. I'm about 20 minutes behind. So what can I say? All right, let's see here. Oh, I'm really far behind. There we go. All right, here we are. Paul says, as of February 23rd, 2026, the estimated average cost to mine one Bitcoin remains high, ranging from 87,000 to 95,000. BTC trading at approximately 65,554 affects hash rate. Miners turn off. Fair enough, fair enough. But at the same time, if the miners stop, that is kind of pressure to the upside because, you stemmy a little bit of the stuff coming at you. So that is interesting. That is interesting. And let's see. Scott says AI has proven its worth. It's just that not a lot of people see it. AI exposure to most people is ChatGPT, Gemini, but businesses like banks use it to increase productivity of client reps. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you use a chat online, 99% of the time, it's probably AI. Is Mark buying PayPal? Interesting. That would be an interesting move for Zuckerberg. That would be a very interesting move. Oh, and guys, we have a show tomorrow because Martin has jumped in and gifted a Mountain Finance membership. And guys, that is our Professor Goat. Our Professor Goat is in the building, and we have added a show for tomorrow. Thank you, Mark. And who won that? Eric Mark won. Congratulations, Eric Mark. Now, as a new channel member, Eric will be able to watch videos one day early and attend our, we have a special event every, right now it's Monday. I'm thinking about moving it to Tuesday only because Monday is such a busy day. But yeah, we have a market hours. We have office hours on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is basically just a chill hangout for me and the channel members. They can bring questions, or you can bring questions. We can talk about whatever, anything. Or we could spend the whole hour talking about black holes if you really want to. It does not matter. Well, we do that on a weekly thing. It's part of the benefits of being a channel member. All right, now to see if I can find where I was. Let's see here. Okay, Paul says, I use AI to figure out how to fix things around the house, ask it mortgage questions, how to diagnose computer issues, etc. Yeah, I'll tell you a funny, interesting thing. So we have like an urn, right? We have an urn with Jill's mom's ashes in it, and her sister was going to take some of them to one of the places she wanted her ashes spread. And I was looking at the thing, and I'm like, I don't know how to open this. None of us knew how to open it. So I just took a picture of it. Actually didn't even take a picture. I just turned the camera on, let ChatGPT look through the camera and said, hey, how do I open this? And she was able to tell me very easily. And I was like, all right, cool. That's the first and only one of those I've ever opened. DoorPat. Let's see, I'm part of the Copilot implementation team at work, have built and used agents, and productivity has significantly increased. The problem is people don't know how to quantify the gains yet in money terms. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. How do you quantify it? How do you justify it when you go to the board? Because, a lot of times you go to the board and that's what it's all about. Tell us the dollars, tell us the cents. how much is this saving us? How much is this increasing the bottom, how much is this lowering our bottom line, increasing our profits? That's what they want to know. And it is very hard to quantify. But I guess the best way to quantify, and this is sad, this is kind of sad, but if you can say, all right, well, this year we have reduced our hiring by 5% or by 100%, that would be one way that you could sort of quantify it, if you're able to do that. Because if all of a sudden your regular folks, your regular clients, our employees, if they're using AI and getting much more done, you may not need those extra people. So that's kind of where you could, I guess, where I would probably look to justify it initially. All right. Paul says, I do not pay for AI, so use Grok until free doesn't let you continue. Same for ChatGPT and Gemini. Yeah, I mean, I only have one paid one, and that's ChatGPT, only because I want ChatGPT to remember everything. And I also don't want limits because, like I said, like when it comes to a thumbnail, so I use, this is where ChatGPT comes in. I make my thumbnail. I will give it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will then look at it and tell me why it sucks. Then I will fix it. But she gives me the reasoning why. And I think I'm actually, my first attempt at the thumbnail now, I think it's much better than it was a year ago because I'm learning. ChatGPT, she doesn't just say, that sucks. She tells me why it sucks. And she tells me a better way to approach it. And I've been learning. So, and I like it that way. And that's what I always say, guys. If you're using AI to help you out with a task that you don't know how to do, ask AI to make it simple. And in some ways too, if I want to learn a new concept, here's a beautiful tip, guys. If you want to learn something brand new that you don't know, you can ask ChatGPT to tell you how to do it. But if you really want to learn it, I would ask ChatGPT to tell it to me in 3 ways. I would say, okay, I want to understand, let's say I want to understand how aerodynamics works on a plane. I would say, all right, can you please give me a detailed breakdown on how aerodynamics works, but can you tell me in 3 ways? Can you tell me first of all as how you would tell a 5-year-old, then tell me how you would tell it to a 15-year-old, then tell me how you would tell it to a university or a college student studying in that field. And that way there, you go through, you get the first one. The first one's super easy, and it gives you, of course you're going to understand it. It's geared for a kid, right? And when you go into the second one, it gets a little more complicated. And then it builds on that first answer, and it helps you, guides you, so that by the time you get to the more complicated answer, you've got enough of a foundation that it actually makes a lot more sense. And it makes it easier for you to remember. So just do that 3 ways: 5-year-old, 15-year-old, and college student. If you ask for those 3, and they'll give you, the AI will give you all 3. And that's a great way to learn. All right. Tangent, right, guys? Another tangent. Scott says there's a disconnect between the non-technical people and the companies using the AI tech. Probably. I think the disconnect right now between people who use AI and people who don't, I think it's only going to get bigger. So if you're one of the people who's not using AI and you're afraid of it, just get your toes a little wet. Get your toes a little wet because, it's only going to be a bigger gap between, those skill levels as we move forward. It's going to get bigger, guys, unfortunately. Now, if you live out in the middle of nowhere and you're a farmer and there's absolutely no need, you don't have to worry, well, yeah, sure. In that case, they're fine. Unless, of course, down the road, maybe you'll get a self-driving tractor that uses AI, and you might want to know a little bit about what's going on with it. So just a thought. All right, Scott says, isn't AC a good candidate for swing trading right now because of Cuba and Mexico? Well, the Cuba part, I think, is already filtered in. But yeah, I'm hoping to see that Air Canada gets us a better spot. All right, just give me a second here. I'm going to let's pull up Air Canada here. All right, actually, I have Air Canada in the swing list. Let's just move over to swings, Air Canada. Oh, look at this. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. So I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Can I make it? Oh, can I make it fatter? Come on, guys. I think I have to refresh it. Well, I'll do a refresh. There we go. Sometimes, whatever reason, the mouse here does not seem to always like to. And it's only this page. Like, my mouse works fine on every other page. All right. Yeah, it's not giving me too much. But yeah, we can see right now, we had a little bit of a channel forming here. It's now completely broke down, and that's fine. So it'll be interesting. I'm going to watch this and see what's going, because we do have a little bit of sideways movement here, but that would be too small of a channel. Like, this is a good sized channel. I would love to see them get back in this channel, but, or, you know, heck, if you wanted to start a nice big, maybe this could be, you know, maybe, and you know what, we do have a point over here. You know, maybe this could be a new channel for Air Canada. So we'll have to check, and we'll see what it does. But yeah, I do, you know, obviously, though I can't buy it in the 0 to 100K challenge because we got that 2-month thing. But in my regular account, yeah, that might be an option. But I want to get a bit more of a. I want to make sure that I want a confirmation of the channel. Right now, we don't have that. We're just sort of grasping at straws at the moment. All right. I was like number 6. Nice. Let's see. What was HIM's earnings that will it run, or what that could be a great trade to get into? So HIM's, that's HIM's and hers, I believe. Let's take it. I'll take a gander. We'll pull it up here. HIMS. Here we go. Hello. What's that? All right, let's try that again. I don't know what happened there. HIMS. Here we go. There we go. Right here. Hims and hers. Perfect. Let's take a gander here. All right, so yeah, look. Oh boy. Yeah, oh boy, they've really been coming down lately. Wow. Yeah, they've not been doing well lately. And let's see here. Monday. All right, so after hours, we just don't have the data yet on it yet, but that's what their earnings are coming in. Yeah, I don't know why. There's been a lot of excitement over Hims and hers. I've never been super, I don't know, I've never been super into them per se, but you know, I think it's a good company. I just don't understand why. They've just been crashing, and yeah, look at this. We got a pretty big gap in there as well. Yeah, and look at this. And this is another interesting thing here, Michael. So right here, so let's see, basically, yeah, why earnings are underwhelming investors. Apparently, there's been a lot of shorting. So people are not expecting these earnings to go well because they've got a lot of shorting happening. So basically, people who are betting against them. And there's a lot of anticipation that these earnings are not going to go well. So I have a feeling we could see another big gap to the downside by tomorrow. I don't like it, but it's a possibility. All right. Paul says, oh, did 37 trades today in the RRIF to balance the income. Nice. Punky is in the house with a hello, everyone. Scott says RRIF is okay. Just don't do it in the TFSA. Yeah, exactly. Paul says Bitcoin did change to the upwards direction at 310 Eastern. Yes, it did. And hopefully it can keep doing that. I'd love to get back up a little bit higher. Lance says if Bitcoin follows its historical cycles and trends, it will fall to 25 to 30% of the all-time highs before going back up. That puts it around 45K later this year. Who knows? It might break the trend. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it's going. I'm still, I mean, like I said, I still think we got one more up before crypto winter. And, you know, and sometimes when we're looking at it right now, it can feel like we're heading lower, but I do think we have one more up. Now, will we drop all the way down to 45K and go back up? I don't think we're going that low. Chad says Bitcoin is already 36% for the year, down 36% in a year. I don't know if it tells me that. You know, I believe Chad, but I'm just taking a look to see if it actually gives me that data with Bitcoin. No, it doesn't. It gives it to me with all of the big, you know, when I go, for example, like to the TSX, it will, whoops, Here we go. It gives it to me for the TSX. I'm going to just double check with Bitcoin because I had the news up. So it might be, yeah. No, it does. Oh yeah, here it is, performance. It is here. All right, good. So yeah, they're 1 year right now. They're down 33.08%. Year to date, they're down 26.14% in the last 6 months. And this is an interesting one here, Chad. Minus 42.19%. Holy banana bread. So they've come down quite a bit. They've definitely come down quite a bit. Roku is in the house with a hello all. And let's see, Scott says, I'd put in Bitcoin a little higher the closer it gets to its maximum number of Bitcoins that can be mined. My comments are not posting. Please have a look at Lunar, L-U-N-R. Okay. And we'll go over here. All right, L-U-N-R. What is, I don't know. Actually, I don't know this one. But here we go. Ooh, royalties. Roku, is it my birthday? Lunar Royalties Corporation. Oh my gosh, look at this. Up today, 19.89%. Oh boy. What happened here? I don't know. But first of all, let's see let's see what they have. Let's see. They're an emerging royalty and streaming company based in Canada, focused on building and managing a portfolio of high-quality mining and stream interests to create meaningful and lasting shareholder. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I like that. We don't have we got a little bit of data here. Not a lot. All right. So obviously they don't pay a dividend, so they're definitely 100% growth. Looking at their back end, and I got no data on that either. Of course not. I wonder here. let's see if I can pull them up in Yahoo. LUNR. Here we go. Lunar royalties. All right, I want to pull this up. I just want a little bit of back end here on this one. Oh, and even, yeah, they don't have the back end either. They've got nothing. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing, at least growth wise, but I have no back end. I've got no fundamentals. Roku, you've given me an empty sheet. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is going on, but I do want to know more. So Lunar royalties. Oh, how long have they been trading for? That's a good question here. Let's come back here and take a gander here. I'll pull up the 3 year. Oh, look at this. Well, that's why. They've only been trading since December. So they're too new to have any information. So that's a little scary. It's a little scary, but I like what they've done so far. I do. Boy. Yeah, but I do need a little bit of history though. Before, as much as I like what they've done, this is one that I would be kind of a little cautious with just because of the fact it's new. Lance, I think it's 50%. It was at 170K-ish. Who was at 170K-ish? Bitcoin never got that high. Or did they? No. Oh, did they get that high? They might have. I don't know where they got anymore. Let's see here. I got filled at 1703. Okay. The EIT. Yeah, Paul says, I see you, Roku. Northwest Health REIT went past $6. Ooh, interesting. Let's take a look. Northwest Health. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. Up $6. They're up 1.52% today. I do like this REIT. This is one of the REITs that I've been saying, like, industrial REITs, healthcare type REITs are going to probably do okay. So yeah, and look at this. They've got higher highs, higher lows, but $6.02. And you get a pretty good dividend. It's a 6% dividend, so not too shabby. Vixter, are there any lower cost equivalent ETFs to HDIV? Ooh, HDIV is kind of a unique beast, though. That's the thing I will say about HDIV. So for one of the ETFs that HDIV holds, so HDIV is a fund of funds. One of the dividends, HFIN, They don't even have covered calls. That's one of the things that helps it helps HDIV grow. So that's one of the reasons, because they're getting all upside on that. So HDIV is kind of unique. I don't, you could argue something like VDY would be in the same vein, but you don't get covered calls with that. So you're not gonna get that same income, but you'd certainly get that same growth. Let's see, KR and SFM both flying. Okay, all right. Mr. X Wonderful, says Mark. The one time he doesn't choke and it's against Team Canada. I know. Yep. Patricia is in the house with a hi. Let's see. It's on my TV that I don't see it. My phone is fine. Funny. Okay, there we go. Pathfinder, is Grok considered AI or a search engine? Is a search engine AI? Grok is considered AI. Grok is an AI. Grok is sometimes a pretty interesting AI. Yeah. Now I will use Grok for a couple of things. So if I want to get like if there's something going on and I'm like, okay, what the hell is causing the market to fall right now? I can quickly go to Grok and Grok will look over like social media and everything and quickly come back and give me point me in the right direction. And Grok has been very accurate. That's what I like. I like the fact that Grok has been very accurate for that. So, market drivers, Grok is pretty good at it. Also, if you want something that the other AI's guardrail, so for example, not so much anymore, but back when I used to do all of those pictures on the weekend news show, if I wanted a picture of Pierre Polyev arm wrestling, with I don't know, with Carney, nobody would do it but Grok. Grok would do it. Because Grok doesn't seem to care. Thanks, kind of Elon's I don't care attitude. But yeah, anyway. Let's see. Samantha says that would be funny with the black cat. I know it would be funny. But I think it's one of those things that I'm like, how many people in our community have seen The Matrix? I mean, probably a lot, but or remember what the black cat means. Like, because if there's a glitch in the Matrix, the black cat goes and then it comes again. But yeah, anyway. Oops, I should turn off the Nightbot. I just saw the Nightbot again. I forgot to do that. All right, let me turn it off. All right, no more messages from the Nightbot. All right, Rory says, I use Grok for images and asking questions. It has an attitude, though. Some of them do. Some of them definitely do. All right. Scott says, Roku, I think the TV defaults to showing chat in posting order, and the app and computer defaults to top chat, not live chat. Yeah, sometimes you have to play with that top chat, live chat. I wish it would just default to whatever, but Roku says, Scott, I'm using a third-party YouTube app on the TV. I don't think I can select top versus live chat in the app, but I'll check later. Lance says, I used ChatGPT to help me figure out what was wrong with my car. I had an issue with a sensor, so I took a picture of the engine and sent it to the ChatGPT to point out the sensor, and it worked. Nice. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, no, when I had an issue with our furnace just kept blowing air, and I couldn't figure it out for the life of me, and I got ChatGPT to walk me through. I'm like, look, this is what's happening. I gave every symptom, and she figured it out immediately, and it was just like, oh. It was a crazy setting on the thermostat because our thermostat has way too many buttons. But it was a crazy setting, and she figured it out. I'm like, all right, cool, because we were almost at the point of calling somebody in. So, ChatGPT saved us. Bare minimum, if a guy came in and just hit a button and said, there you go, that would have been easily $50 to $100. Easily. All right. Andy says, plain as day now, the U.S. market just doesn't care about any news. They just want Nvidia Thursday to get here so they can do their big regular rumor news sell-off. Yeah, I get that. Mark says, I use ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, DeepSeek, and Cursor for coding apps. If you use AI to analyze your investment portfolio, be careful and always copy paste answers from one AI to another AI to verify. Yeah, you want to, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask multiple AIs the exact same question. And quite honestly, I don't think AI is there yet for giving good investment advice. You can, what I would more or less say is, if you're looking, let's say you're just looking for a really good mining stock, you could go to, go to ChatGPT and say, hey, could you give me a list of really, really good mining stocks in Canada, or maybe in the US, or maybe in Guatemala, if that's where you're living. And then, go and do the research on them. Maybe have ChatGPT maybe point you in a direction, but don't take it by gospel. And it's the same, like even with YouTube. Like I always say, I show you guys a lot of stocks, but you got to make up your own mind. You have to do your due diligence because, in the end, it's your money, right? And if ChatGPT sends you down the wrong street, or I send you down the wrong street, it doesn't cost me any money, or it doesn't cost ChatGPT any money. It costs you your money. So always, always double check, guys. Always. All right, Lance, I've done that with ChatGPT too, except I do it in 2 stages. Unless I need more of an explanation, I tell it to explain it to me like I'm 10 years old first, and then like I'm a college graduate. Yeah, well, the 2 is fine. And maybe for some people, if you catch on really quickly, maybe the 2 works pretty well. The 3 I find is pretty good, I think, for most people. All right. Sorry for my bad spelling. I'm at work bouncing around in a crane. No worries. No worries. I guess are you craning your neck when you're, no, just, Rory says, I do a lot of artwork with Grok, but half the time it gives me no response. Try again later. Oh, yikes. All right. And Scott says Hims and Hers are getting sued right now because they were producing drugs without the patent permission. Oh, wait. That'll do it. That would certainly explain what I was seeing on that. So yeah. And that would also be for me right now. I would not touch them with a 10-foot pole, even if I liked the company, until this gets resolved. Because, there's that potential that they could keep falling for a bit. Dave says, darn, missed the show. I'll be on next time. All right. Fair enough, Dave. That'll be tomorrow. Fairham keeps chugging along, ignoring the markets. Yeah, I know. And guys, let's pull up Farron here once again. Farron Technology. There we go. There we go. Farron Technology Group. And look at this. Yeah, they're still just climbing. They're still just climbing. And this is the interesting thing too, because we've been talking about this current spike that they're on right now, and I think there should be a correction. So I'm expecting a correction sooner than later, but so far they don't seem to care. They're like, nope, we're still going up. And but I do think we'll get a correction. I think we'll get at least a pullback, and that would be healthy. So I'd like to see even if it's just go back down to 18 and then you can move back up. That I think would be fantastic. But yeah, I am liking this. And I do have them in the 0 to 100K challenge because I've recognized quite a while ago that this was a company to watch. What do you think of KMP REIT? I don't think I haven't really thought about them in a bit here. So KMP, so Kilm. All right, here we go. Now, I will say, we talked a little bit about Kilm on the weekend. They're pretty much everywhere. Like if you're going to rent an apartment in a Canadian city, you're probably going to encounter Kilm for sure. So this here, I'll pull them up here. They've been sideways. I mean, it's one of those situations that REITs haven't done that well unless you've been in that select group. Industrial REITs, health REITs. Oh gosh. I was wondering if there was any kind of way you could somehow work mining into REITs. I don't think so, but so yeah, this one here, I mean, I think it's going to be a steady REIT. I think they're going to do fine, but I just don't see any big movement this year for this one. Like overall, I think it's going to be a slow year for REITs unless you're one of those ones that I just mentioned. Doorpat says Grok was able to find me a meme that ChatGPT and Gemini couldn't find. Even Perplexity couldn't. I did the search today. It's also very good searching in other languages. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I use like ChatGPT. If I get if somebody gives me a comment in another language, I'll just grab that comment and I'll drop it in ChatGPT. And ChatGPT has always been able to identify the language and allow me to read what the comment is and reply in their language. So that's always, to me, that's always a good thing. Asibu says, used Deep Agent to build apps and intended to test its advanced finance vertical for investing. If anyone is familiar, appreciate your experience. Thanks. I've never used Deep Agent. Like I have not dabbled yet into agents. That's next on my list of things to do. But and I know I've got the paid ChatGPT, and there is an agent in there. I think when it first launched, I tried to use the agent and it didn't work. So I haven't gone back yet. And that's also a good lesson, guys. If you use ChatGPT or something a year ago and you're like, I don't know, that's not for me. It's different now. It's different. It's smarter. It gives much better responses than it gave a year ago. And there's a saying in AI that the AI you're using today is the dumbest it'll ever be. Well, other than the one that you used yesterday. But, Lisa says, do you need to have a paid subscription to ChatGPT to show it photos? Because I tried the other day and it said I couldn't view them. Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I didn't think so, but I just figured that if you have the non-paid, I think that there's a limit on how many, basically a limit on how many searches and things you can do in a day. And I know that ads are coming to the non-paid version, so you'll have ads as well. But I just assumed, like normally for me, I just click that little plus sign, and then at that point, I just go to whatever picture, and it comes up. It goes up really easy. All right, agent is basically giving hands to your AI in a way. Yeah, in a way. Because that's the thing. Agents are getting really, really interesting for sure. All right, guys, we are at that 1 hour 30 minutes now. I do have to come back again tonight here for the office hours, so that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to do a boogie right now. Well, a boogie woogie get out of here type thing. But before I go, I do got a couple of words I wanted to say very quickly, and that is